misses the back.
No, did you see that? Give me just a second here, Johnny. Caleb Plant is hurt. Down goes Caleb Plant, and not being able to do anything about it.
That's lights out right there.
This bout is scheduled for 10 rounds of boxing. In the red corner, from Pensacola, Florida, here is a middleweight, a super middleweight, a light heavyweight, and a heavyweight champion of the world, Roy Jones Jr. Fighting out of the blue corner, introducing from Nashville, Tennessee, now fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, a super middleweight champion of the world, Sweet Hands, Caleb Plant.
One of the hottest tickets around. It's standing room only for this, our main event.
Todd, as a young man, this is the Mecca. This is the place you want to be. This is it.
So a capacity crowd here for this one. We've been waiting a long time for this matchup. And here we go. And we're underway in round one. Off the charts action from both of these fighters. One punch could change anything when these two step in the ring. All the talking has been done. It's time to start doing the walking.
It's so hot, it's so heated. There's a roof on here, you don't understand it. When you're working, when the noise is there, the pressure's on, you're thirsty, you're sweating, and you're on the wrong side of a beating. This can be hellfire on earth.
They can't get out of the way of that straight. Both men step back for just a moment. This counterpuncher is going to wait for you to move first, and then will strike like a snake. Keep an eye on this guy.
You're fighting a counterpuncher, you've got to dummy a shot. Make them react from that, then react then. I know it's hard to think that way, but counterpunchers, they're watching you every move, every twitch.
Halfway through the round, and it's pretty much even-steven.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them. More than happy.
Nice right jab. They've got to use their jab better in this fight. Good defense stopping that jab. Sometimes when you're fighting a counter fighter, the rounds can get a little boring. You get trigger shy because you know if you throw a punch, one is coming right back at you.
To beat a counterpuncher, you've got to take them out of their pace. Do not wait for them, because if you wait, they'll pepper and pop you all night long. Rush them.
Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. Let's talk about Roy Jones in the last round. From this moment forward, he cannot afford to lose another round.
Wow, it's like two different...
That was a terrible round, that is.
And there's the bell for round two. Let's see how they bounce back here in this round.
That was a tough last round. Now you've got to make sure he doesn't put it on you, and that's what he's going to try and do. So tie him up, hold him, lean on him. Don't get drawn into a fight. Not yet. Not until your senses have come back.
Left hook, it's finding his target. good jab there. Right hand. Should we be surprised if these two fighters go the distance tonight, considering how much they've emphasized their physical fitness? You'd like to see more jabs. The straight right just misses. Do you believe what we're seeing? Endurance is becoming a factor. You can see this fighter having a hard time getting out of the way of the punches, and they're not throwing as many on their own.
Now this is the back.
Whoa, did you see that? Give me just a second here, Johnny. Caleb Plant is hurt. No, we don't see a knockdown.
What recovery skills they are. What a shot it was. Completely gone. I thought there's no way he's going to finish this round. But look at that. Look at the movement. Look at the speed. Back on it. Like it never happened.
Good counter punch. You can't throw out a lazy jab in this fight. You're going to get knocked out. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. There's a counter shot. Nice counter. This fight has a real good flow to it. Very close round with 10 seconds to go. Talk about Roy Jones in that last round. The game plan does not seem to be working here. What's he have to do differently?
Every second, every minute of this fight is important. Every second, every minute of this round is important. You cannot afford to lose it.
And win this round back. Take away that confidence. Stop it.
Good work. Don't forget the jab and don't get carried away. Think about...
You've got to go out there and win this round. You had everything in the bag. Now you've let him back into it. You're starting to make mistakes and you're switching off. I need you to switch off.
On to the third. So not the best round, but let's see if they can turn it around here.
This is one of those situations. You've just been hurt. You've got to get out there again. Be smart. Be sharp. Don't be a fool. Don't get suckered in. Make him fight your fight. Hold him, tie him up just until your head clears again and your legs come back again. Because if you don't, he's going to pop you off.
Stamina is so important for these two fighters because it allows them to use their skills throughout the match. It could all come down to who's in better shape.
What can they change? Can they slow the pace down? Can they hope to knock them out early? What can they do? They've got to concentrate and relax. Because you know what you can do in the gym, you can do it in a fight. You've got to relax.
Oh, and this is really going to rub them the wrong way. Gotta let your hands go a little bit. It's okay to be aggressive now. There's no doubt that this fighter's power can change the fight around in an instant. You can't afford to make one single minor mistake.
Sometimes when you get in there with someone that's so powerful, you've got to think him. You've just got to be smarter than him. You've got to be like a little Fagin and pickpocket him.
Tough to be a judge in this fight as both fighters have had their big moments.
Skill for skill, tap for tap, just like a match made in heaven.
And he wasn't ready for that counter punch. Jab does not score. Misses. You hear people talk about a boxer's chin. Do they have a good chin? Do they have a glass jaw? Those are questions that are being answered here tonight.
Todd, you know what? Sometimes when I've got in the ring with fights like that and you punch them, you just want to run. You want that spaceship to come and lift you out of there because you think, what the hell am I going to do now?
That punch is beginning to take its toll. Jab doesn't find a home. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Let's talk about Roy Jones in that last round. As bad as boxing judging can be sometimes, there's no doubt who won that round.
I seriously hope the judges kept their eye on this fight, because if they haven't, there's going to be absolute uproar.
Basic. Just get your rhythm back.
There's the bell for round 4. Coming off that fantastic last round, let's see if he can keep his momentum going.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing, because you've won that hands down.
How nervous would you get when you know you're facing a big puncher like this that can seriously hurt you?
I've seen certain fighters that can depend on just their power alone. Forget tactics. They know the second they touch you, it's done. That's where the confidence comes from.
The jab doesn't quite connect. That counter shot lands. Looks like a little bit of a strategy change here, loosening up the technique. What do you think of what we've seen so far from these two boxers, Johnny?
Middleweights always gives us a class. If you've got two class middleweight fighters, you are in for action. I'm quite sure right now, if you know your boxing, there's a certain fighter, Mr. I would just say marvelous, but some fighters were unbelievable middleweight.
You gotta like what you're seeing as we reach the halfway point of this round.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
Nice counter shot. By the way, the connect percentages have to be off the charts. Neither one of these fighters want to see the judges' scorecards. There's a big difference between being the aggressor and the effective aggressor. Which type are we seeing so far?
The middleweights are the best you can ever come across. Obviously, the glamour weight is a heavyweight, but the middleweight is the size of the average man or woman. When you get in there and you're letting the shots go, you've got power, you've got speed, you've got pace. You can stand, you can dance, you can do everything. We can look back in history. You know the amazing fights at middleweight are ridiculous. That is what writes our history books.
They drop their guard, they get caught. Imagine seeing this punch coming and not being able to do anything about it.
That's lights out right there. One, two, three, four. You still want to fight.
Talk about Roy Jones in that last round.
Right, let's go out then.
Back into the fray here in round 5. It's been a nightmare so far. What can they do to turn this around?
2 knockdowns in that last round. There'll be sheer panic in that corner. What do? Do they throw the towel in? Do they let him come back out again? Because they know their fighter is like a lamb to the slaughter.
And he scores with the counter. They are not going to let this one go to the judges. Walk away from each other and then run right back into trouble. Well, Johnny, as you know, there's a fine line between being aggressive and being too aggressive.
Sometimes when you have a fight, the best way to beat a fight is not give them what they want. Because they want to get you there. They want you to stand there toe-to-toe with them and have a terror. That's what they do in the gym every single day of the week. What you've got to do is you've got to frustrate them as they set their shots. Get out of the way. And they'll get so angry, so frustrated because they can't work.
That left hook missed. Straight right just misses. In the early rounds of a fight, you'll see 2 boxers feel each other out, test each other's power, and I think this boxer has decided I can walk through anything that lands.
Because you've got a good chin doesn't mean you've got leather skin. It means you can still get caught. So you've got to go for those pointed areas over the eyebrow, the cheekbone. You've just got to try and cut them, skim them, go for speed.
When are we going to see a jab from these two? Do you believe this? It's bombs away. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. Very competitive round with 10 seconds left. Let's talk about Roy Jones in that last round. Well, he is glad to have heard that bell.
Needs a knockout without a doubt. Needs to go out there and think, right, you know what, next round.
Yes, I like that.
There's the bell for round 6. Coming off a very tough round. Let's see what they do here.
They've had 1 minute to recover. Now they've got to bluff it. They've got to bluff it. They've got to come out now and style it out. Get on the back foot, jab, rest on the jab. Be smart and pop until your legs come back. Then put the pressure on.
When you're a power puncher, you're not as concerned with how many punches you throw. It's about how many you land and how hard they are.
That power might be the do or die. That power might be the equalizer.
Just missed with that jab. That jab won't score. Punch, counter punch. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there would be some more action here. You can tell one of these fighters is starting to fade. What does he need to do to get back in this contest?
Midway through the fight, if you are tired, this can be the loneliest place in the world. If you cheated, now we're going to find out.
Big hook flown, but it doesn't connect. Good counter punching. Look at the footwork, the hand speed. This is the best that the middleweight division has to offer. Down goes Caleb Plant. And look at that shot to the head, and there's no way they were going to stand up to that one.
Shot from the gods.
1, 2, 3, 4,
They're on their feet, but is this the beginning of the end?
Somebody can smell blood here. They can smell blood. They've got to be smart. Get in there. Then boom, back in the same spot again. It happened once. You got away with it. You can do it again.
How about that time counter shot? Both men step back for just a moment. Let your hands go a little bit. It's okay to be aggressive now. Final 10 seconds here, and this has not been his round for sure. Let's talk about Plant in that last round. It's not over till it's over, but that knockdown is going to be huge.
I love the response, though. Got back up, took a deep breath, thought, right. Brush it off. Get on with the job.
Great work. I love that. I love that. The jab's slick.
Mistakes and you're switching off. I need you to switch back on. Get full.
Middle. You can't miss it. Great work.
There's the bell to start round 7. His eyes look pretty clear here, Johnny. How do you think he's going to do after being knocked down in the last round?
What a knockdown. 1 minute. You need 1 hour to get over a shot like that. Now it's down to conditioning. Now it's down to mental strength and preparation. It's how you are going to deal with this.
There's been a significant aggression difference in this fight, Johnny. What are you seeing?
I've seen some aggressive fighters. They can terrorize the life out of you before they've even thrown a shot. The strength they have, the speed they have, and that knockout punch, they want to punch through you. They don't want to punch you. They want to punch straight through you. So you've got to be careful.
You'd like to see more jabs. They're giving us a high-tempo show. Beautiful counterpunch. Timing beats speed. Speed beats power. What do you think of this fight so far, Johnny?
You've got to be courageous when you get in there with someone that's bigger, stronger, and faster. You've just got to use brain there.
Nice exchanges from both men in this round.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. Nice counter punch right up the middle. He threw a punch and just got countered. When are we going to see a jab from these two? Beautiful counter shot. This fighter has determined that they can walk through any punches that their opponent throws, and that's a very confident spot to be in.
What a gift. What a gift it is to have a chin where you know you can walk through anything and everything. When you let those shots go and it's just bouncing off and they're walking you down, it's so demoralizing. It absolutely breaks your heart. What else can you do?
They need to be careful they don't punch themselves out here. Every time he throws a punch, a receipt. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. Can you believe it? Roy Jones Jr. is on the back foot now. Let's talk about Roy Jones in that last round. What would you tell this guy? He's got to do something different.
You know, I've been in fights like that. When you're thinking, come on, bro.
Round 8, and we're off again. Throw a shot, they get countered. Talk about punches in bunches. That's the mantra for this fighter with that exceptional hand speed.
You've got to ruffle their feathers, Todd. You cannot let them get comfortable, drag them, get them complaining to the referee, because once somebody with excellent foot speed and excellent power gets into the rhythm, the fight is over.
Not a lot of punch output. Thought there would be some more action here. Catch and shoot. Caleb Plant just got clipped. Blink and you miss it. Good thing we can watch that all over again.
I need to see that again.
At some point, the corner may have to intervene here because this fighter won't stay down.
He's up, but for how long? Look at that. On the heels, look at it. There's nothing there. There's no defense. The eyes are glazed. It just takes one more clear shot. A clean one. Then he's out of there.
Roy Jones Jr. in trouble. We almost saw a knockout a second ago, and now they're going toe-to-toe.
Defense, defense, defense is everything, because they got shot once. They know they can get caught again. So for now, just defense. Work on defense. Blocking and stopping and shooting.
A perfect counter shot. Man is in some serious trouble here. You can see it was a hit to the head that did it. Let's watch it again.
I've got to see that again.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Listen to me. Are you okay?
Let's talk about Plant in that last round. Is there any way back into this fight after the beating he has taken so far?
There's always a way back. Don't ever run anybody off.
You've got to take that.
Nice round. Good round. I like that. I'm happy. Good man. Good man.
And then start gathering your pace and win this round back. Take away that.
To repair. Stay focused. Don't let him back into the fight.
Boxing back together. That's a terrible round, that is. Come on, you've let him back into the fight.
Let's see how much fatigue we see here in round 9. Gotta be feeling confident heading into this round after knocking their opponent down twice.
2 knockdowns and you're coming back from that. That's near on impossible, because your head must be all over the place. Your legs will feel like jelly. What can they tell you in the corner? All they can do is wake you up. They can't even go into game plan.
Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. We both know who the bigger power puncher is. There's a significant power difference. How would you handle that?
It's the one who draws first blood, Todd. That's what you've got to look at. If you can hit and you know you're in there with a banger, you've got to be on it, but you've got to be confident.
He missed with that jab. jab misses. His stamina is off the charts. When you've got someone with the hand speed that this fighter possesses, how do you deal with it?
Having so much speed, what happens to your opponent is you get cut to ribbons, and that's where the referee has to jump in and stop the fight. And you know this is going to happen, so you rush your work. You think, I've got to get him inside close round.
Well, this won't sit well with their opponent. Nobody home with that hook. Nice job slipping that left uppercut. That counter punch caught him clean. Energy and endurance are not an issue for this fighter who continues to be aggressive as the rounds wear on.
How do you deal with an aggressive fighter? What you do is you fight fire with fire. You either give it them back because that's where they're comfortable, or you play calm, play cool.
Perfect counter lands. Apparently hitting his opponent in the face isn't enough. He wants to rub it in. This round could go either way. 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about Roy Jones in that last round. Well, there was no doubt about who won that round.
You can't leave it up to the...
This is the 10th. That last round was huge for him, Johnny. How does he keep the momentum going?
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
And he missed with the jab. Well, just a couple rounds left, Johnny. What's your assessment so far?
Look back in the history books. Some of the best fighters in the world were the middleweights. Yes, the glamour division is the heavyweights, we know. But I'm telling you now, you look right there. These guys are on it. Fast, sharp, powerful. But it hurts, and you can imagine that being you. They're the size of an average man.
Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. Misses with the straight left. As we enter the final frames of this bout, Johnny, what have we seen so far?
I've seen some fights with a granite chin. You could hit them with a sledgehammer, they are not going to move. But then I've seen some mad punchers with a chin like a crisp. As soon as you touch them, they're gone. And this is the danger spot.
Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. Gotta let your hands go a little bit. It's okay to be aggressive now. Just when you thought we'd see a lull in the action, here we go again. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there would be some more action here. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. Both men step back for just a moment. Roy Jones Jr., believe it or not, may want to take a knee here. to take another look at that.
Where did that come from? What a shot.
1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. Are you okay?
No surprise there, a unanimous decision.
This is the last thing we expected. What a fight, what a style, what a pace. To get a unanimous decision, that is mad. I didn't see that coming. I thought this would be tight. This is nowhere near tight.